Hey, it's Sabrina, and I have a new cooking video for you to teach you something I've cracked the code on, and it's called bindaedduk, which is a Korean pancake, also known as what we call in our house the Korean latke, because it sort of tastes like a potato pancake or like a hash brown. And the good news is, especially for those who are going gluten-free, is that it is gluten-free. There's no wheat flour like other pancakes, because the basis is all mung beans. And so at our favorite Korean restaurant here in San Francisco called Kwan, they serve you for free these sort of like little chocolate chip cookie size bindaedduk, and it's sort of like a teaser appetizer. And I, for years, I've wanted to know how to do it. And if you go in the Korean markets, they sell flours, but I don't like the white pepper in those flours, those batter mixes. So I finally cracked the code, and I think you and your family will enjoy it. So here's the how ingredient we're working with in bindaedduk is mung beans. So there's no flour in these pancakes. It's all this mighty mung. And they're split. I think they originally they're green and they're in a shell type thing, but when they're split, they look like this. And you can find them often in Chinese markets, Korean markets, and they might be a bright yellow, but that stuff has been dyed. And so I tend to try to buy the one that's in bulk and more of a natural color, not the bright yellow one. But you do what you can. The next thing is to soak 2 cups of it. So we're gonna have 2 cups. And you're going to put it in a bowl, and you're going to soak it overnight, and just in water. So the 2 cups, when you wake up in the morning, it's going to have absorbed a lot of that water and grow to become 4 cups of mung beans. Okay. Then I use some sea salt. It depends on your taste how much you want to use. I tend to use the lower amount, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon to a half. And then another ingredient is some sort of sweetener. And in my case, I like to use pure palm sugar. It's a much more it's a less refined sugar. It's a more natural state of a sugar. And they come in these discs, right? And then I take a knife and I sort of cut it. It becomes like this sort of flake. So this is actually like a tablespoon. When you cut it up and flake it, it becomes like 2, kind of loose. The other ingredient is green onions. I use 2 stalks. And I cut it on the bias. As you can tell, they're not cut in rounds. Sesame oil is an option. Pepper and soy sauce, and as well as olive oil. And you're gonna need a blender. So what I did was I rinsed for a couple rounds the mung beans, swirled it with my hands and drained all the water out. And I put 2 out of the 4 cups in the blender. And so here's the thing about water. I can't really measure it out. It's really an eyeball thing. So the way I think about it is trying to bring up the water to a little bit below the top. So we don't want to bring the water that high. I'd say a little bit lower. And it's a mistake to add too much water. It's better to be a little too thick and add water later on. Okay, there we go. So here we blend. Cover your ears. And the consistency we're going for is like pancake batter. So I stop halfway, I stir a little bit by hand. Again, let's go back. Pour this out into a bowl. And again, I can always add more water. And sometimes I do a test pancake. And if it's too dense and too thick, I'll add the water then. So here we go. Let's add half that sugar. Salt. I didn't really measure it out, I'm doing it by hand, so that's about half a teaspoon. Stir it up. At this point, you could add some of the sesame oil, but my older son is allergic to sesame oil, so I don't add. But now I would do like a little splash. And then green onions. And we're ready to fry some up. There we go. So now I have a non-stick pan on the stove. So here's the batter. And I feel like the batter is a little thick. So when it's too thick, you're gonna get sort of dense, not airy pancakes. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more water, not a lot. I don't know, that might have been 4 tablespoons or something like that right now. And so with bindaedduk, in the Korean restaurants, they add all sorts of stuff. Bean sprouts, kimchee, you know, they get kind of seafood, squid. But we like it kind of basic in my family, kind of simple, keep it simple. So look at the oil. I was pretty generous with the oil. I'm not being skimpy. It's not like a light shimmer. It's, we're gonna fry them up. And we, unlike some of the restaurants who do one like really huge pancake, we like little baby bindaedduk. And unlike a normal pancake where it starts to like bubble on the top, and that's when you know to flip it, these don't do that. This is all about color, and the goal is sort of like the perfect golden marshmallow, where it's really nice and brown and golden. So while that's going, I'm gonna quickly take you over there to do a quick dipping sauce over here. So just really simple ingredients. Some soy sauce. Okay, a little splash of sesame oil. Some green onions. We do a little cracked pepper. You could add vinegar if you want. Awesome. Woo. Okay. So let's go back and look at the pancakes. See. So you can see it sort of browning right there on the edge. I'm not convinced it's totally brown. I don't even want to look yet. Let's see, let's give a peek. Kind of good. And then just do a little jiggle. Let's take a peek, take a peek, take a peek. Woo, almost. Almost. I'm gonna lay these down first. Ready? There we go. So next time I see you, we'll be eating them. There you have it, the finished product. Bindaedduk, yummy, delicious, kind of like better than a McDonald's hash brown. They're good. Give it a try. It's easy.